This is part one of Saint Francis of Assisi, and I'm going to put some questions to Kaz about his life. Number one,
Okay,
when he was baptized, what was his name at that time?
so he was Giovanni and renamed Francesco later.
And he also founded some religious orders, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He founded Friars Minor, Ordo Fratum Minorum. Okay, the Women's Order of Saint Clare or Santa Chiara or the Poor Clare. And then, thirdly, the Lay Third Order.
The lay third order, that sounds very interesting indeed. Why did he have, can I ask you, why
Sure.
did he have so many followers?
Okay, because simply, it was his evangelical zeal, his consecration of poverty and charity, and he was a charismatic person.
And very significant, I think, especially to the Roman Catholics, is what is the poverello, or the poor little man?
Okay, so it is one of the most venerated religious figure in the Roman Catholic history.
Ah, right,
Yeah.
right. One that I should know. He is the patron saint of Italy, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Saint Francis and also Saint Catherine of Siena.
And also, he was how can I say, nominated as the patron saint of ecology.
Correct, he is. That's right.
And what is more, he was the son of a rather rich cloth merchant of the time, wasn't he?
Yes, his parents may have came from France, and he was very, very wealthy.
He was. Many people who were wealthy studied Latin. Now, so where did Francis or Saint Francis study Latin?
At the church of San Giorgio, he attempted to sing in French as well.
But I heard he wasn't really that good a singer.
At least he tried.
But then, as always in history, war hits. Just like today, the lightning is striking this house.
Yes.
Which war did Saint Francis, take part in?
Okay, so the war between Assisi and Perugia. He was a prisoner for nearly 1 year. Upon release, he became very sick.
Oh, so he was a prisoner and he became sick. But what's the connection to joining the papal forces? When did he join the papal forces?
So after recovering from the prison ordeal, he attempted to join the papal forces under Count Gentile against the Emperor Frederick II in Apulia. It was in 1205.
Oh, I see. So we're talking about 1205, about that time frame. And you mentioned the word attempted. You say attempted to join.
Oh, yes. So he didn't make it, though. It was on his return to Assisi that he had an all-important vision. In the vision, he was baited to return to Assisi to await the call to a different type of knighthood.
Well, a different type of knight. When I have knight, I think knight in shining armor. What do you mean by a different type of knighthood?
So it's from this point, after this vision, that he declared himself to two major things:
What two things were they?
solitude and prayer, so that he might know God's will for him.
God's will for him.
Oh, yeah.
So is it true to say that the visions that he had contributed to his conversion, if you like, to the apostolic life?
Yes, yeah. And he had more than one vision. In another vision, maybe second, he saw a vision of Christ near a grotto in Assisi.
A vision of Christ in a grotto near Assisi.
Correct.
Okay, so historically, what was his most important vision?
Okay, so according to his disciple and biographer Thomas of Celano, at the ruined chapel of San Damiano, outside a gate of Assisi, Francis heard the crucifix above the altar commanded him, "Go, Francis, and repair my house, which, as you see, is well nigh in ruin."
And if I might well now in ruins. Can I just digress for a moment to his
Surely.
pilgrimage to Rome when he kissed the hand of a leper? Is that right?
He did, yeah. Despite feeling a deep repugnance for them, okay, he gave necessities to the leper as well. So today it's known as Hansen's disease patients, okay?
Ah, that's right, Hansen's disease, but
Same meaning.
originally
Oh, yeah.
lepers.
Correct.
And
correct.
obviously, if you touch a leper, there's a chance that you can immediately get the disease yourself.
Back in the days, yes. Yeah.
So if I might go back to the repairing of the very important house, if you like, what did he do after hearing these words?
Okay, so he went home, okay, got fine clothes from his father's shop and rode off to Foligno.
On his horse.
With horse, yes.
Okay.
So where he sold the cloth and the horse. Having done that, he tried to give the money to the priest of Damiano.
He's trying to give the money to the priest. I seem to remember, yeah. He gave the money to the... Oh, wait, but the priest refused that money, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and St. Francis threw it all out of windows.
Threw it out of the window.
Correct.
I wonder if we would do that. So he throws the money out of the window. I guess it was quite a lot of money at that time. How did his father react to this throwing the money out of the window?
So his father kept him home and brought him before the civil authorities of the day.
But he refused to be summoned, did he not?
Correct. So his father took him to see the Bishop of Assisi.
The Bishop of Assisi, very important figure of the time. And what funny, or should I say rather peculiar thing happened next?
Okay, well, silently, he peeled off his garments and his breeches, giving them back to his birth father. Then he proclaimed that, until now I have called you my father on earth, but henceforth I can truly say, our Father who art in heaven.
And everybody knows that phrase, Our Father who art in heaven. So the bishop is listening all this time. So what reaction or what did the bishop do?
So, well, basically, he gave him a long garment, okay, so as to cover himself.
Sounds like a natural thing to do. And then?
So he went off to the woods and Mount Subasio above the city.
Yeah, you say that rather casually. He went off to the woods of Mount Subasio. So we can gather that St. Francis, this is giving us a hint to part 2 here, was kind of gave up his worldly goods.
Yes, indeed. He renounced and embraced a life of poverty. That's the beginning.
And in part 2 and part 3, of course, we're going to talk about the Franciscan order, but that's in part 2. Please join us. Thank you.